All right, so you're getting ready for this Textile Finishing Machine Operator interview, and we're here to give you the edge with this deep dive using some awesome information we got from RoleCatcher.
It's a fantastic platform, tons of resources for job seekers.
Absolutely, and we're going to deep dive into some of those interview questions they might throw your way. But also, get this, it's not just about pushing buttons, this job. It's about problem solving. It's about staying ahead of tech trends. It's even about leading teams.
It really is a fascinating field, and there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's start with like a quick overview. What does a textile finishing machine operator actually do?
Yeah.
You know, they're the ones using these machines to turn raw textiles into the fabrics we see and feel every day.
Right.
So think about dyes, coatings, those finishes that make a fabric look and feel just right.
Like that soft t-shirt you're wearing right now?
Exactly. Yeah. So you're really the artist behind the scenes.
I love that.
And here's the exciting part. This industry is really cutting edge.
Okay.
We're talking sustainability, 3D printing, AI. It's a dynamic field.
Wow. So you're not just an operator. You're like this tech-savvy innovator.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the big picture. Now let's get down to like the nitty-gritty, the questions that RoleCatcher gave us in this interview guide.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I'm just going to pick one out here that I think is a pretty common one.
Okay.
It's, what experience do you have with textile finishing machines? Now, even if you are just starting out, don't sweat it.
Right.
Like, they're not expecting you to be an expert right off the bat. But what are they really looking for there?
I think what they're really looking for is transferable skills.
Okay.
So even if you haven't worked specifically with textile finishing machines, have you worked with other machinery?
Right.
Can you learn things quickly? Are you detail-oriented? Can you follow procedures?
So it's like you're connecting the dots for them, how your past experience has prepared you, even if it's not a one-to-one.
Exactly. It's about highlighting those underlying skills that are valuable in any technical role.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of like follow-up questions might they ask you to kind of dig deeper there?
They might say something like, tell me about a time you had to troubleshoot a technical problem.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and that's where you can really shine.
Okay.
Have a specific example ready to go walk them through the problem, how you identify the cause and the steps you took to fix it.
Show them you can think on your feet.
Exactly.
Really?
And what's really cool is RoleCatcher actually has this AI that can help you craft those stories, those tell me about a time stories.
What? So it's like having a personal coach in your pocket.
It's amazing. It gives you feedback.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you tailor your answers to really highlight those key skills.
It's like they know what the interviewer is looking for, and they're like, okay, here's how you can present that information.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
It takes the guesswork out of it, especially for those behavioral questions that can be tricky.
Yeah.
So another one that's really important is, what safety procedures do you follow?
Oh, safety, huge.
Huge. And they're not just looking for a memorized list here.
Right.
They want to see that you really live and breathe safety.
Okay, so it's about going beyond just like the rote memorization.
Yeah.
How do you show that you have that proactive mindset around safety?
Be specific. Mention things like wearing your PPE, inspecting equipment before use, following lockout, packout procedures, those nitty-gritty details.
Yeah, like they want to know that, the specific.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also emphasize your awareness of potential hazards.
Right.
And your willingness to speak up if you see something unsafe.
Oh, so you're like a leader, even if you're not in like a leadership position.
Yes, exactly. It's about taking ownership of safety for yourself and for your team.
Yeah, now I bet they might follow up with something like, what would you do if you noticed a coworker not following safety protocols?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
That's a common one. And it's a great opportunity to demonstrate your commitment to creating a safe work environment for everyone.
Okay.
So explain how you'd approach the situation calmly, professionally, remind them of the procedures, and emphasize the importance of everyone's well-being.
That makes sense. It's not about being like the safety police.
No, it's about being a team player.
Yeah.
It's about looking out for each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's tackle another one. This one I think is a really good one. How do you troubleshoot issues with textile finishing machines? This one might sound a little intimidating, especially if you're newer to the field.
Right.
But I think what they're really looking for there is your thought process.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like expert level knowledge.
Yeah, you don't have to know every single machine inside and out.
Right.
But what you can do is walk them through a hypothetical scenario.
Okay.
Describe a common problem, how you'd isolate the cause, the steps you'd take to solve it.
So you're kind of showing them, okay, I can think logically, I can break down a problem, I can find a solution,
Exactly. And RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually dives into some common machine types and potential issues, which can be really helpful in preparing for this question.
Oh, that's awesome. So it
Yeah.
gives you like a little starting point to kind of wrap your head around it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Speaking of staying ahead of the game, let's look at this question. How do you stay current with changes and advancements in textile finishing technology?
Oh, that's a great one.
So like how do you make sure that you are not falling behind?
I think the key here is to show your passion for the field and your commitment to continuous learning.
Okay.
So mention any industry publications you follow, online forums, you participate in webinars, you've attended anything that shows you're actively seeking out knowledge and staying ahead of the curve.
So like you're that person that's like always reading the latest articles.
Yeah, I love learning about new things.
Yeah.
Staying up to date with the trends.
Yeah. And I bet they might follow up with something like, what emerging technology in textile finishing are you most interested in and why?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
And having a specific area of interest shows that you've done your research,
Yeah.
that you're genuinely engaged with the advancements happening in the field.
That you're not just like, I don't know, whatever, like you have specific things that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Right.
And talk about leadership.
Right.
Because even if you're not applying for a management role,
Yeah.
they might ask, how do you manage a team of textile finishing machine operators?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let this one throw you off guard. Even if you haven't like officially managed a team, you've probably had experiences where you've taken initiative, collaborated with others,
Yeah.
maybe mentored someone. Think about those situations and how you've demonstrated leadership qualities.
Yeah. Maybe you led a group project in school or took charge of a volunteer initiative.
Yeah.
The key is to highlight your ability to communicate effectively, work as part of a team, and inspire others to do their best.
So again, it's like those transferable skills.
Absolutely. Like, how do I take these things that I've done and show that, yeah, this could apply to me actually managing a team?
Mm-hmm.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be like a game changer.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it can really help you structure your responses to highlight those leadership skills, even if your experience is more informal.
Yeah, it's amazing how it can analyze your answers and suggest improvements to make sure you're really hitting those key points.
Now, let's pause for a moment and bring in some insights from RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Right?
Because one thing that stood out to me is the discussion of career stages in this field.
It's fascinating to see how this role can evolve over time.
Okay.
You might start as a junior operator, mastering the basics.
Right.
But from there, you could specialize in a particular area, move into a supervisory role, even get involved in training and development.
Wow. So it's like they paint this picture of a career path, not just a job.
And I think that's something interviewers really want to see, that you're not just there for like a paycheck. You're there to like really learn and grow.
Yeah, they want someone who's in it for the long haul, who's excited about the possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, another thing the guide emphasizes is the importance of continuous learning.
Right.
In this field, because the textile industry is constantly evolving.
Always changing.
Yeah, new technologies, sustainable practices emerging all the time. So staying curious and up to date isn't just about like impressing the interview. It's about like future-proofing your career.
Yeah, it's an investment in your future.
It really is. Okay, let's dive back into those interview questions with a focus on quality.
Okay.
Because they might ask something like, how do you ensure quality control when finishing textiles? And this one's all about like precision sitting those customer specifications.
They want to hear about your process for inspecting the textiles using specific tools and techniques.
Yeah, like how do you make sure that everything is meeting those high standards? And have you faced any specific quality control challenges in the past?
Yeah, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, what did you learn from those experiences? And they might even throw in a curveball and be like, what are some common defects? How would you identify them?
Oh, yeah.
So it's really about showing them that you have a keen eye for detail.
Absolutely.
You're committed to delivering top-notch work.
Attention to detail is crucial in this role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, they might also ask, how do you handle a situation where the finished textiles don't meet the required specifications?
The dreaded quality issue.
Right.
But this is your chance to showcase your problem-solving skills.
Okay.
And your ability to take corrective action.
So it's not about like panicking or like blaming someone. It's about,
No.
okay, this is the situation. How do we fix this?
It's about taking ownership.
Yeah.
And finding solutions.
Even when things go wrong. Okay, let's tackle another important aspect of the job time management. They might ask, how do you prioritize competing demands when operating textile finishing machines?
That's a great question because you're likely to be juggling multiple tasks.
Right.
So how do you determine what's most urgent?
Yeah.
What factors do you consider when making those calls?
And I'm sure they'll want specific examples of how you've handled this in the past.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe a time when you had to meet a tight deadline.
Yeah.
Or deal with an unexpected problem.
Right. How did you stay calm, focused, organized
Yeah.
to get the job done?
And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be incredibly helpful.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
It can analyze your response and suggest improvements to make sure you're really showcasing those time management superpowers.
It's like having a personal productivity consultant
Okay.
right in your pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. Speaking of superpowers, let's talk about adaptability.
Ah.
Because they might ask, how do you ensure that finished textiles meet customer specifications?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one seems pretty straightforward. But what's the hidden message there?
I think it's about understanding that at the end of the day, you're creating products that need to meet specific requirements
Right.
and expectations.
Yeah.
So they want to hear about your process for reviewing those specifications, clarifying any ambiguities, and double-checking your work to make sure you're delivering exactly what the customer wants.
So it's about communication. It's about collaboration.
Yeah.
It's about making sure everyone's on the same page.
Exactly.
From start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, before we move on to the next set of questions,
Right.
I think it's important to kind of address, like, the elephant in the room, the pros and cons of this job, because RoleCatcher's Career Guide doesn't sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, look, it can be physically demanding. You might be exposed to chemicals. The work environment can be noisy.
Yeah, it's not all sunshine and roses.
Right. But they also highlight the good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Good salary, potential opportunity for advancement, and the satisfaction of working in a hands-on field.
Right, where you can see the tangible results of your effort.
Yeah, you're actually creating something.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
Yeah. So it's about having a realistic view of the job, both the challenges and the rewards, so you can decide if it's the right fit for you.
Exactly.
Okay, and speaking of fit, let's circle back to RoleCatcher's AI advantage, because it's not just about interview prep. It can also help tailor your CV to the specific job description.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
So it's boosting your chances of getting noticed.
Especially by those automated screening systems.
That's going to be so frustrating.
It's like having a personal career strategist in your corner, making sure your CV highlights those all-important keywords and skills that employers are looking for.
It's amazing.
It's an invaluable tool, especially in today's competitive job market.
All right, ready for another round of interview questions?
Bring it on.
Okay, here we go. What are the essential safety considerations you would prioritize as an operator? Now, we already touched on safety, but what are they really getting at with this one?
I think they want to see that you can go beyond the basics and demonstrate a proactive approach to safety.
So it's not just about listing off the rules.
No.
It's about
critical thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking about potential risks.
Yeah.
And how to mitigate them.
Yeah. And maybe even bringing in, like, specific safety regulations?
Absolutely.
Or industry best practices?
Yeah, showcase your knowledge.
You're like, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm committed to safety.
Awesome. Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to highlight one more incredible resource that RoleCatcher offers.
Okay, tell me more.
It's their AI-powered interview practice tool.
It's amazing.
So tell me everything.
Okay, so you can record your responses to common interview questions and get instant feedback.
Oh, wow.
It analyzes your content, even your body language.
That's incredible.
Helping you identify areas for improvement.
Wow, that's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's a game changer for anyone who wants to build confidence and ace that interview.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, we have.
From understanding the role to mastering those tricky interview questions. But before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Think about the textile industry's push towards sustainability. How do you see the role of a textile finishing machine operator evolving in this new landscape?
That's a great question.
What skills and knowledge will be essential for success in a more eco-conscious textile world?
That's a fantastic question to ponder.
Yeah,
It really highlights the importance of staying ahead of the curve in this ever-evolving industry.
absolutely. And remember, head over to RoleCatcher, check out all the amazing resources they have available, including those free career and interview guides.
Yeah, they've got everything you need to land your dream job in the textile industry.
And with this deep dive under your belt, you're ready to walk into that interview and show them you're not just an operator, but a textile finishing rock star.
Yeah, go rock that interview.
We'll be right back with more insights and tips to help you ace that interview. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Are you ready for some more interview questions?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
All right, here's one that I think you'll find interesting. How do you handle a situation where a critical textile finishing machine breaks down unexpectedly?
Oh, that sounds stressful.
It can be, but that's exactly what they're trying to figure out.
Okay.
How you handle pressure, how you think on your feet.
So it's not just about fixing the machine.
No, it's about the whole package. Your problem-solving skills, your ability to stay calm and find solutions.
So what are they really looking for in an answer?
They want to see you can quickly assess the situation, figure out what might have caused the breakdown, and take the right steps to get things back on track.
So like troubleshoot it myself, call for maintenance, or even come up with some kind of temporary workaround?
Exactly, you've got it. And you know what? They might even ask some follow-up questions to see how well you understand the bigger picture.
Like what kind of follow-ups?
They might ask, how would you communicate the breakdown to your supervisor and other team members?
Well, yeah. Communication is key.
It is. Or they might say, what steps would you take to minimize the disruption to production?
So they want to know you're not just focused on the machine itself, but also the impact on everyone else and the overall workflow.
Exactly. It's about seeing the big picture and being a team player.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's shift gears a bit and talk about communication skills.
Sounds good.
Because they might ask something like, how do you communicate effectively with team members who have different levels of technical expertise?
That's a great one. Communication is so important in any job, but especially in a technical field like textile finishing.
Yeah, like you got to be able to explain things clearly to everyone, whether they're seasoned pro or just starting out.
Exactly. And this is where your ability to adapt your communication style really shines.
So think back to times when you've had to explain something complex to someone who doesn't have the same technical background as you.
Yeah, like have you ever had to teach your grandma how to use a smartphone?
Haha, exactly.
It's kind of like that you need to adjust your language and approach to make sure they understand what you're talking about.
Maybe use analogies, visual aids, break it down step by step.
Exactly. And don't forget about active listening.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Making sure you're understanding them, asking clarifying questions.
The two-way street.
It is. Communication is all about building that connection.
Now, you know something that really stood out to me from RoleCatcher's career guide was the emphasis on attention to detail.
Oh, that is absolutely critical for the textile finishing machine operator. They're responsible for the quality and consistency of the final product.
Right. Every little detail matters.
Think about it. You're dealing with delicate fabrics, intricate patterns, precise color matching. There's no room for error.
So how do you showcase that attention to detail during the interview?
Be specific. Don't just say, oh, I'm detail-oriented. Give them concrete examples from your past experiences.
Okay, like times when you had to pay close attention to those tiny details to get the job done right.
Exactly. Maybe you caught a mistake in a document or spotted a flaw in a product that others missed.
Show them that you're not just saying the words, but you actually live and breathe that attention to detail.
And don't underestimate the power of your overall presentation, your body language, how you dress, making sure your resume is immaculate. All of that speaks volumes.
Like they say, the devil is in the details.
Exactly.
Okay, let's tackle another one. How do you handle a situation where you have to work with a difficult coworker?
Everyone's favorite topic.
Right, we've all been there.
We have, but this question is less about the difficult coworker and more about you.
Okay, so it's not about bad-mouthing the other person.
No, it's about showing you can navigate those tricky interpersonal dynamics with grace and professionalism.
So how do you do that?
Focus on your communication skills, your ability to listen to their perspective even if you don't agree with it, and find common ground.
So it's about finding ways to work together effectively despite those challenges.
Exactly. And, maybe you can even identify some shared goals or find ways to collaborate that play to each other's strengths.
It's like turning a negative into a positive.
Exactly. And remember, sometimes a little bit of empathy and understanding can go a long way.
Now let's talk about something that's becoming increasingly important in the textile industry, sustainability.
Yes, this is a big one, and it's only going to become more important in the future.
They might ask something like, what is your understanding of sustainability in textile finishing? And how do you see your role contributing to a more sustainable industry?
This is your chance to shine if you're passionate about the environment and reducing our impact.
So how do you prepare for this kind of question?
Do your homework learn about the different aspects of sustainability in textile finishing, like reducing water and energy consumption, minimizing waste, using eco-friendly materials?
And then connect that knowledge back to the specific role of a textile finishing machine operator.
Exactly. Think about how you can contribute to those sustainability goals, even in small ways.
Maybe suggest ways to optimize machine settings, to save energy, or advocate for the use of sustainable dyes and chemicals.
Exactly. It's all about showing them that you're not just thinking about the job, but also about the bigger picture, the impact on the planet.
I love that it shows that you're a forward-thinking candidate who cares about making a difference.
It does, and it aligns you with the company's values if they're also committed to sustainability.
Okay, one last question for this segment. The dreaded salary question.
Oh, yes, the one everyone gets nervous about.
What are your salary expectations for this role? So how do you handle this one without selling yourself short or pricing yourself out of the job?
It's all about finding that sweet spot, and RoleCatcher's career guide can be really helpful here.
Okay, so do your research look at industry benchmarks for similar roles in your geographic location?
Exactly, and consider your own experience, your skills, your qualifications.
And don't be afraid to negotiate if you feel confident that you're worth more.
Right. Be prepared to articulate your value to the company.
And you know what else RoleCatcher's AI can even help you craft your response to this question?
Really, it can do that too.
It can analyze your input, provide suggestions, make sure you're presenting your salary expectations in a clear and confident manner.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like having a personal salary negotiation coach.
Exactly. All right, we've covered a lot of ground in this segment.
We have.
We've tackled some tough interview questions, gained insights from RoleCatcher's career guide, and even explored the role of sustainability in the textile industry. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to emphasize one more thing. Be yourself.
Oh, that's so important. Let your personality shine through.
Authenticity goes a long way. Show them that you're genuinely interested in the role of the company, the industry. Be enthusiastic. Be engaged. And let them see what makes you unique.
Because at the end of the day, they're not just hiring a set of skills, they're hiring a person.
Exactly. And that person is you. So show them what you've got.
And remember, practice makes perfect.
Absolutely. The more you practice your answers, refine your approach, the more confident you'll feel going into that interview.
You got this.
We'll be right back with the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore even more tips and resources to help you land that dream job in the textile industry. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of textile finishing machine operators.
We've covered a lot of ground, but we're not done yet.
Absolutely. We've got more insights, more tips to help you seal the deal and land that dream job.
We're going to dive into some areas that people often overlook, like networking.
Oh, yeah, networking.
And building a strong online presence.
Super important.
And of course, we'll highlight some more of those amazing RoleCatcher resources.
I love those resources.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Let's start with networking.
All right.
Because I think that can be a little intimidating, especially if you're new to the industry.
Oh, absolutely. It can feel really daunting.
Yeah.
But trust me, it's a game changer.
Okay, so where do you even begin? Because a lot of people think networking is like going to these fancy industry events.
You know, it doesn't have to be that formal.
Okay.
Networking is really just about building relationships, connecting with people in your field.
So like learning from others, sharing your own experiences.
Exactly, and expanding your professional circle.
It's like building your own little textile finishing community.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it can happen online, it can happen at workshops, it can happen just like talking to people.
It really can happen anywhere, even just casual conversation.
So be open to it.
Yeah, be open to connecting with people.
Don't be afraid to strike up a conversation.
Exactly. And you know what? RoleCatcher actually has a feature that can help you with your networking.
They do?
They do. It's like a CRM for your career.
Wait, what? Like customer relationship management for your...
Yeah, you can import your contacts, you can categorize them.
Keep it all organized.
Yeah.
Track your interactions.
So you can really build meaningful relationships and stay on top of your networking game.
That's amazing. So it takes the guesswork out of it.
It does. It makes it so much easier.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about building a strong online presence, because that's like the other side of networking.
Absolutely. In today's digital world, you need to have a professional online profile.
Yeah.
that showcases your skills and experience.
So like LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is a great place to start. Make sure your profile is up to date.
Yeah, make sure it's got a good headshot.
Absolutely.
Highlight your relevant skills.
And don't be afraid to share your thoughts and insights on industry trends.
Yeah, like engage in those discussions.
Yeah, show that you're passionate about the field.
Share articles.
Yeah, establish yourself as a thought leader.
You become the go-to person for textile finishing.
Exactly.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay, let's circle back to RoleCatcher and see what other goodies they have in store for us.
Right.
Because one thing that caught my eye was their AI-powered CV feedback tool.
Oh, that thing is a game changer.
Tell me more.
It analyzes your CV and gives you personalized feedback based on the specific job description you're applying for.
So it's like tailored advice.
Yeah, it's like having a career coach
Okay.
right there in your computer,
Yeah.
helping you identify areas where you can improve.
And make sure you're highlighting the right skills and experience.
Exactly. And they also have a fantastic library of resources.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Articles, templates, guides, all kinds of things to help you with every stage of the job search process.
It's like they've thought of everything.
They really have. It's an incredible platform.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
Landing a job in the textile industry, or any industry for that matter, is not just about having the right skills and experience.
It's about having the right mindset.
Exactly. Be confident in your abilities, be persistent in your search, and most importantly,
be passionate.
Be passionate about the work you do, because that passion will shine through.
Yeah, it'll make you stand out
in those interviews. And it'll make you a happier, more fulfilled person overall.
It really will.
So remember, this deep dive was all about giving you the tools and the knowledge you need to succeed.
Now it's your turn.
Take action, put your best foot forward, and go after that dream job.
You got this.
We're so glad you joined us for this deep dive into the world of textile finishing machine operators.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful, informative, and empowering.
We'll see you next time.
That's a wrap for today's deep dive. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive, where we'll be exploring another fascinating career path. Until then, stay curious,